Chapter 1. Decluttering the Mind. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It has the ability to generate ideas, solve problems, and guide you toward your dreams. But just like a cluttered room makes it hard to find what you need, a cluttered mind can block your ability to think clearly and make effective decisions. Mental clutter, negative thoughts, distractions, worries, and an endless to-do list keeps you stuck in cycles of indecision and stress. The good news? You can declutter your mind, create mental space, and regain control over your thoughts. In this chapter, we'll explore powerful strategies to help you eliminate unnecessary mental noise, improve focus, and build a mindset that supports clear thinking. Why mental clutter holds you back. Imagine trying to write on a chalkboard that's already covered with scribbles. If you don't erase the existing mess, there's no room for new, meaningful ideas. The same applies to your mind. When it's filled with unprocessed emotions, unresolved tasks, and constant distractions, it struggles to function optimally. Mental clutter manifests in several ways. White heavy check mark overthinking. You replay past mistakes or worry excessively about the future. White heavy check mark distractions. Constant notifications, emails, and digital overload disrupt your focus. White heavy check mark unfinished tasks. A long list of pending responsibilities creates background stress. White heavy check mark negative self-talk. Self-doubt and limiting beliefs keep you in a state of hesitation. White heavy check mark emotional baggage. Past regrets, fears, and unresolved conflicts drain mental energy. By identifying and addressing these mental roadblocks, you free up cognitive space and increase your ability to focus on what truly matters. Step 1. The thought dumping method. One of the most effective ways to clear mental clutter is through thought dumping, writing down everything that's occupying space in your mind. How to do it? Grab a notebook or open a digital note. Write freely. List all your worries, ideas, and random thoughts. Don't filter or judge them. Categorize your thoughts. Group them into categories: work, personal, health, relationships, or creative ideas. Decide what needs attention. Identify tasks that require action, thoughts that need letting go, and patterns that need changing. By externalizing your thoughts, you prevent them from looping endlessly in your head. This exercise is like emptying a cluttered drawer. You can now see what needs to be organized and what can be discarded. Step 2. The mental inbox system. Your brain works like an email inbox. It constantly receives incoming thoughts, worries, and ideas. If you don't manage this flow, you'll feel overwhelmed. The mental inbox system is a simple framework to help you filter and prioritize information. How to apply the mental inbox system. White heavy check mark process incoming thoughts. When a new thought enters your mind, ask, is this urgent? Can I act on this now, or should I schedule it for later? Is this a distraction or something valuable? White heavy check mark organize your mind daily. Dedicate 5 to 10 minutes each evening to review your mental inbox, remove unnecessary thoughts, and set clear intentions for the next day. White heavy check mark use digital tools to offload mental load. Keep a brain dump section in a notes app like Notion, Evernote, or a physical journal. Offloading thoughts reduces stress and improves decision-making. By managing your mental inbox, you reduce overwhelm and create space for deeper thinking and creativity. Step 3. Morning clarity rituals. The way you start your day sets the tone for your mental state. A morning clarity ritual ensures that you begin with focus rather than stress. Building your clarity routine. Small blue diamond, avoid checking your phone first thing. Give your brain time to wake up before consuming external input. Small blue diamond, practice 5 minutes of mindful breathing. Deep breathing calms the nervous system and reduces mental chatter. Small blue diamond, set 3 top priorities for the day. Instead of a long to-do list, Choose 3 tasks that align with your goals. Small blue diamond, write down any lingering thoughts from the night before. Clear residual stress before starting your day. Starting your morning with intentional clarity prevents distractions from taking control of your focus. Step 4. The power of mental minimalism. Just as minimalism in physical space brings peace, mental minimalism helps eliminate unnecessary thoughts that don't serve you. How to practice mental minimalism. White heavy check mark, reduce information overload. Limit exposure to unnecessary news and social media. White heavy check mark, unsubscribe from mental noise. Let go of opinions, commitments, and comparisons that add stress. White heavy check mark, prioritize simplicity in decision-making. Avoid overanalyzing small choices. Instead, create default decisions, e.g., meal prepping for the week, having a go-to outfit, to save mental energy. The more you simplify, the more clarity you gain. Step 5. Managing digital distractions. Technology is a double-edged sword. It can either enhance focus or overwhelm the mind. To declutter your mental space, set boundaries with digital devices. Practical ways to reduce digital overload. Small blue diamond, turn off non-essential notifications. Constant pings hijack your attention. Small blue diamond, schedule phone-free hours. Set no phone zones during deep work or before bed. Small blue diamond, use focus modes. Apps like Freedom or Forest help limit distractions. Small blue diamond, unfollow unnecessary content. Curate your online environment to reduce mental clutter. By taking control of your digital space, you prevent external distractions from dominating your thinking. Step 6. Releasing emotional clutter. Unprocessed emotions take up enormous mental space. Regrets, grudges, and unresolved conflicts drain your energy and cloud judgment. Ways to release emotional clutter. White heavy checkmark, forgiveness practice. Let go of resentment toward yourself or others. Holding on to past pain only burdens your present. White heavy checkmark, journaling for emotional clarity. Writing about your feelings helps you process and gain perspective. White heavy checkmark, seek closure where needed. Address lingering conflicts or past mistakes to free yourself from their weight. Emotional clarity leads to mental clarity. When you resolve past issues, you think and decide more effectively. Step 7. Creating a clear mindset for long-term success. A decluttered mind isn't a one-time achievement. It's a habit you build. To sustain long-term mental clarity, small blue diamond, adopt a let-it-go mentality. Not every thought, worry, or conflict needs to be carried with you. Small blue diamond, practice regular thought audits. Check in weekly on what's occupying your mental space. Small blue diamond, make time for stillness. Moments of silence allow your brain to process and reset. By committing to a clear mindset lifestyle, you continuously refine your ability to think deeply, make better decisions, and navigate life with confidence. Final thoughts. A clear mind is a powerful mind. Decluttering your mind is the first step toward better decision-making. When you create mental space, you make room for clarity, creativity, and confidence. Start implementing these techniques today, and you'll notice an immediate improvement in how you think, act, and feel. Chapter 2. The Power of Strategic Pauses. In our fast-paced world, where decisions often need to be made quickly and under pressure, it's easy to rush through choices without considering their full impact. Whether you're choosing between options, responding to a problem, or simply reacting to something that triggers an emotional response, the default mode is to act immediately. However, this urgency often leads to regret, second-guessing, or worse, decisions that don't align with your values and goals. The truth is, the best decisions don't come from haste or impulse. They arise from clarity, and clarity, in turn, is born from the ability to pause. A strategic pause, Taking a moment to interrupt the rush of thoughts and emotions that flood your mind gives you the time you need to process the situation, reflect on the best course of action, and make choices that truly serve you. The decision clarity gap. At the heart of decision-making is the decision clarity gap. This is the space between a stimulus, the decision you need to make, and your response, the action you take. The key to better decision-making lies in mastering this gap. When you allow yourself to pause in this space, you gain the clarity needed to evaluate your options thoughtfully. Imagine this gap as a brief moment in time where you shift from reactive to reflective thinking. Instead of responding out of instinct, emotion, or habit, you intentionally choose how to engage with the situation. Why pausing is so powerful. When you take a moment to pause, several positive things happen. It calms your nervous system. When we're under stress, our bodies release adrenaline, which prepares us for fight or flight. A pause helps to calm your nervous system, reducing the emotional intensity of the moment. It shifts from reaction to reflection. Often, we act impulsively due to fear, anger, or other strong emotions. A pause gives you time to reflect, helping you move from an emotional reaction to a rational response. It provides perspective. When you pause, you distance yourself from the situation. This allows you to view things more objectively, without getting lost in the immediate chaos. It boosts self-awareness. Pausing helps you become more aware of your mental and emotional state, giving you insight into what's driving your thoughts and decisions. It enhances your focus. Instead of being distracted by external pressures or internal noise, a pause helps you center yourself and focus on the task at hand. How to create a strategic pause. A strategic pause is about intentionally taking a break before responding. It can be as brief as a few seconds or as long as a few minutes, depending on the situation. Here's how you can implement it. 1. Use mindful breathing. One of the simplest ways to create a pause is to focus on your breath. Deep, slow breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, calming you and helping you think more clearly. How to practice mindful breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. Focus solely on the sensation of your breath. This grounds you in the present moment. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times, especially when faced with a stressful decision. This simple exercise can interrupt your automatic response and give you a moment of clarity. 2. Count to 5. Sometimes, simply counting to 5 can create the distance you need. This short pause shifts you from an emotional reaction to more logical thinking. How to use counting to 5. When you feel an impulse to react, count silently to 5. Use this time to breathe deeply and collect your thoughts before responding. This technique is especially effective in situations where your emotions are high and you need to regain control over your reactions. 3. Take a break. When a decision feels overwhelming, step away from the situation. Whether it's a few minutes or a few hours, distance allows your brain to reset, preventing you from rushing into a decision. How to take a pause. If you're at work, take a short walk, grab a cup of tea, or step outside for some fresh air. If you're at home, engage in a light activity like reading, stretching, or simply sitting quietly. This break doesn't just help you cool off. It allows your subconscious mind to process information, which often leads to better solutions when you return. The role of reflective questions. After you've taken a pause, it's time to reflect. Reflection is where the real clarity happens. This is when you ask yourself important questions to evaluate the decision at hand, align it with your values, and predict the potential outcomes. Key questions to ask yourself during a pause. What do I want to achieve with this decision? Understand the outcome you're aiming for. When you know what you want to achieve, you make decisions that serve your goals. How does this align with my core values? Ask yourself whether the decision is in harmony with your deeper principles. If it conflicts with your values, it's a sign that you may need to reconsider. What are the potential consequences of each option? Consider the long-term impact. Short-term gains might feel satisfying, but are they aligned with your overall objectives? How will I feel about this decision in the future? Visualization can be powerful here. Imagine yourself looking back on this moment a week, month, or year from now. How will you feel about the choice you made? What are my emotional triggers here? Be honest with yourself about what emotions are influencing your decision. Is fear, guilt, or pressure clouding your judgment? By asking these reflective questions, you not only clarify your objectives, but also tap into your deeper wisdom, strengthening the decision clarity gap with visualization. Visualization is another tool that enhances your ability to pause and gain clarity. The practice of visualizing different outcomes can be incredibly powerful in helping you make better decisions. It helps you mentally simulate the consequences of each choice, which provides more clarity and confidence in your actions. How to use visualization effectively. Visualize the potential outcomes. Imagine yourself making each choice and living with its consequences. Picture your future self. Visualize how your decision will affect the person you want to become. Does it bring you closer to your goals? Tap into your emotions. As you visualize each option, pay attention to how your body feels. If one path brings tension or discomfort, it might indicate a misalignment with your true desires. Visualization doesn't just engage your logical mind, it connects you with your emotional side, providing deeper insight into the right course of action. Micro-pauses for daily decisions. While strategic pauses are essential for major decisions, they're equally important in the small moments that make up our daily lives. These micro-pauses train your brain to respond with intention in all situations. Where to integrate micro-pauses. Before sending an email, instead of typing impulsively, pause for a moment. Reread your message to ensure clarity and emotional neutrality. Before answering a call, take a breath before picking up the phone. This gives you a moment to assess your emotional state and prepare your response. Before reacting to an urgent request, take a brief pause to consider if you can realistically handle the request and if it aligns with your priorities. By practicing micro-pauses, you create a habit of thinking clearly in all situations, which leads to better decision-making over time. The science behind strategic pauses. Scientific research has shown that strategic pauses, whether through mindfulness, breathing exercises, or simple reflection, have tangible benefits. They engage the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logical thinking, self-control, and decision-making. When you pause, you reduce the activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, which helps you move from instinctive reactions to more rational responses. Additionally, pausing allows your brain to consolidate information. Instead of making rushed decisions based on fragmented thoughts, you give yourself the space to make sense of all the inputs. This leads to better, more informed choices. Building the habit of pausing. Mastering the art of the pause takes practice. It's not something you can force yourself to do in high-pressure situations right away. You must build the habit by incorporating small pauses into your daily routine. Tips for building the pause habit. Start small. Practice pausing in non-stressful situations, like deciding what to eat for lunch or responding to a text message. Use reminders. Set a daily reminder to take a pause. It could be a simple note on your phone or a time block in your calendar. Track your progress. Keep a journal of your pauses. Reflect on how they've helped improve your decisions and your overall mindset. The more you practice, the easier it will be to create pauses in moments of urgency, leading to more clarity and better decisions. Final thoughts. The decision clarity gap is a powerful tool for transforming your decision-making process. By embracing the power of strategic pauses, you give yourself the space needed to act with intention, not impulse. This simple practice allows you to align your decisions with your goals, values, and long-term vision. Remember, clarity doesn't come from rushing. It comes from slowing down, reflecting, and acting with purpose. Start building the habit of pausing today, and watch how it transforms the way you think and make decisions. In the next chapter, we will explore the decision sprint method, a strategy to break down complex choices into manageable steps for greater clarity. Stay tuned. Chapter 3. The Decision Sprint Method. Big decisions can feel overwhelming. Whether you're navigating a career change, choosing a new city to live in, or making a significant life commitment, the weight of the decision can paralyze you. The sheer volume of information, possibilities, and consequences can leave you stuck in a state of indecision, hesitant to move forward for fear of making the wrong choice. But what if you could break down even the most complicated decisions into manageable, actionable steps? What if you could turn the process of making a big choice into a series of smaller, focused actions that build momentum and confidence? Welcome to the Decision Sprint Method, a simple yet powerful strategy designed to help you tackle even the toughest decisions with ease. In this chapter, we'll dive deep into the Decision Sprint Method, how it works, and how you can use it to make better, faster decisions without feeling overwhelmed. What is the Decision Sprint Method? The Decision Sprint Method is inspired by how athletes train for a long-distance race. Instead of focusing on the entire marathon at once, they break the race down into shorter, more manageable sprints. The same principle applies to decision-making. Instead of feeling paralyzed by the enormity of a major choice, you break it into smaller, actionable steps. A decision sprint is a focused period of time where you concentrate on one small piece of the overall decision, gather the necessary information, and make a micro-choice. By repeating this process, you gradually build clarity and momentum, leading you to a well-informed final decision. Just like sprinting builds stamina for a marathon, decision sprints help you build clarity and confidence over time, making it easier to navigate complex decisions. Why the decision sprint works. Many people fall into the trap of overthinking or becoming overwhelmed when making big decisions. We try to gather all the information we can, consider every possible outcome, and analyze every detail to ensure we make the perfect choice. But this often leads to analysis paralysis, the inability to move forward because we're afraid of making the wrong choice. The decision sprint method works because it eliminates this overwhelming pressure by focusing on small, incremental steps. Instead of trying to solve the entire problem at once, you make progress one sprint at a time. You focus on the immediate task at hand rather than the entire picture, which reduces stress, builds confidence, and keeps you moving forward. By taking a step-by-step approach, you reduce overwhelm. Breaking a large decision into smaller steps makes it less daunting. Build confidence. Each completed sprint provides clarity and encourages you to keep moving forward. Gather focused information. You focus on the most important data, rather than drowning in an ocean of irrelevant details. Gain momentum. Small wins create momentum that helps you feel like you're making progress toward your goal. How to implement the decision sprint method. Now that you understand the basics of the decision sprint method, let's walk through how to implement it in real life. Step 1. Define the core question. Before you can start a decision sprint, you need to clarify what the core question is. This is the fundamental question that needs to be answered in order to make your decision. When you're facing a large decision, it's easy to get bogged down by all the small details. But the core question is what truly matters. For example, if you're deciding whether to move to a new city, the core question might be, does this city offer the career opportunities and lifestyle I want? If you're considering a new career path, the core question might be, What career aligns best with my passions and skills? Defining the core question helps to focus your energy on what truly matters and eliminates distractions. Step 2. Break the decision down into phases. Once you've defined the core question, the next step is to break your decision into smaller phases or sprints. Each sprint focuses on one key aspect of the decision. For example, with the career change decision, your sprints could look something like this. Sprint 1. Research potential careers. Spend a set amount of time, e.g., 1 week, researching different career options that align with your passions and skills. Identify 3 to 5 potential paths that could work for you. Sprint 2. Assess education or skill requirements. Research the qualifications and skills needed for the careers you're considering. Is additional education or training required? Sprint 3. Evaluate job market and opportunities. Look at job prospects in your chosen field. What does the current job market look like? Are there growth opportunities? Each sprint focuses on gathering just enough information to move forward. Instead of trying to make a final decision after hours of research, each sprint builds upon the last to bring you closer to clarity. Step 3. Set clear deadlines. Deadlines are crucial for decision sprints. Open-ended timelines can lead to procrastination and keep you stuck in an endless loop of research and analysis. By setting deadlines for each sprint, you ensure that you keep moving forward and avoid falling into the trap of perfectionism. For example, Sprint 1. Research potential careers, deadline equals 1 week. Sprint 2. Assess education requirements, deadline equals 3 days. Sprint 3. Evaluate job market, deadline equals 2 days. Setting deadlines not only gives you a sense of urgency, but it also helps you avoid overthinking or getting caught up in unnecessary details. Step 4. Test small decisions along the way. One of the key advantages of decision sprints is that you don't have to commit to a massive change all at once. Instead, you test your options through small, low-risk actions. By taking these smaller actions, you gather real-world feedback without the pressure of committing to a big leap. For example, if you're considering a career change, instead of quitting your job immediately, you might take an online course related to the new field you're interested in. Reach out to people in the industry for informational interviews. Take on a small freelance project or side job to test the waters. These small tests allow you to explore different options and learn more about them before making any permanent commitments. They also help you refine your decision-making process by giving you practical data to work with. Step 5. Reflect and adjust after each sprint. At the end of each sprint, take time to reflect on your progress. This step is essential for refining your decision-making process and learning from each phase. Ask yourself, what did I learn in this sprint? Am I closer to the outcome I want? What adjustments should I make for the next sprint? Reflection ensures that you are always moving in the right direction, and it helps you stay flexible in case you need to adjust your approach. By reflecting on your progress after each sprint, you can make smarter decisions with every step you take. Step 6. Make your final decision. Once you've completed all the sprints, you'll have gathered the information and insights needed to make an informed decision. At this point, you should have a clear sense of which option best aligns with your goals, values, and priorities. But remember, the decision you make doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is to make the best decision you can with the information you have at the time. Trust that you've gone through the necessary steps to make a well-considered choice and take action. Benefits of the decision sprint method. The decision sprint method offers several benefits over traditional decision-making approaches. Reduces overwhelm. Instead of facing an intimidating, complex decision, you break it down into manageable phases. Builds momentum. Each completed sprint brings you closer to clarity, boosting confidence and motivation. Prevents perfectionism. By focusing on small, actionable steps, you avoid the trap of trying to make the perfect decision and allow yourself room to adjust. Encourages real-world testing. Testing small actions along the way helps you gather valuable feedback and fine-tune your decision. Promotes flexibility. The iterative nature of decision sprints allows you to adjust your course as needed, without being locked into a single choice. Example: Career Change Decision Sprint. Let's walk through an example of how the decision sprint method works for a career change. This will help you see how it can be applied to real-life scenarios. Core question: does switching careers align with my long-term goals, and which path should I pursue? Sprint 1. Research potential career paths. Research 3 to 5 careers that interest you and align with your skills and passions. Set a deadline, 1 week to complete research. Action: make a list of careers you're interested in and rank them based on your criteria. Sprint 2. Assess education or skill requirements. Identify the education or skills needed for each career. Set a deadline, 3 days to complete research. Action: find out what courses or certifications are needed and what training you might need to pursue. Sprint 3. Evaluate job market and opportunities. Research the current job market for your chosen careers. Set a deadline, 2 days to evaluate. Action: look for job openings, salary ranges, and industry growth projections. Sprint 4. Test the career path. Take an online course, shadow someone in the field, or do freelance work in the new industry. Set a deadline, 2 weeks to try. Action: assess whether you enjoy the work and whether it matches your expectations. Sprint 5. Reflect and make a decision. Review all the information and feedback gathered. Set a deadline, 1 week to reflect. Action: use the insights to make your final decision, confident that you've taken an informed, thoughtful approach. Final thoughts. The decision sprint method is a game changer for anyone feeling overwhelmed by a big decision. By breaking it into smaller, manageable steps, you make the decision process less daunting and more actionable. Each sprint gives you the clarity and confidence you need to move forward, and ultimately, you make better choices without the pressure of perfection. The next time you're faced with a major decision, try using the decision sprint method. Break it down, take it step by step, and watch how much easier it becomes to move forward with clarity and purpose. Chapter 4. Rewiring your brain for clarity. Your brain is an incredible machine, capable of processing vast amounts of information and making life-changing decisions. But just like any tool, your brain is not always perfect. Over time, it can fall into habits, biases, and shortcuts that cloud your judgment and prevent you from thinking clearly. The good news? You have the power to rewire your brain, train it to think more clearly, and unlock your true decision-making potential. This chapter is all about rewiring your brain for clarity, transforming your mental habits, neutralizing biases, and building stronger cognitive pathways that support more effective thinking. By adopting intentional practices and understanding how your brain works, you can retrain it to make better, more informed decisions. Why the brain defaults to mental shortcuts. Before we dive into how to rewire your brain, it's essential to understand why your brain defaults to certain patterns and behaviors. Your brain is designed to conserve energy and make quick decisions, especially in situations that feel familiar. In essence, your brain uses mental shortcuts, known as heuristics, to simplify decision-making. While heuristics can be helpful in fast-paced situations, they can also lead to cognitive errors when applied incorrectly. For example, confirmation bias, the tendency to search for or interpret information in a way that confirms your pre-existing beliefs, rather than looking at the facts objectively. Overconfidence bias, believing that your judgment is more accurate than it actually is, which leads to poor decision-making. Anchoring bias. Relying too heavily on the first piece of information you encounter, the anchor, when making decisions, even if it's irrelevant. These shortcuts often help you make quick decisions, but in complex or unfamiliar situations, they can lead you astray, preventing you from making clear, rational choices. Step 1. Managing decision fatigue. One of the biggest obstacles to clear thinking is decision fatigue. Every day, you are faced with hundreds of decisions: what to eat, what to wear, when to check your email, and so on. The more decisions you make, the more mental energy is drained from your brain. Over time, your decision-making ability diminishes, and you may begin to make poorer choices as you run low on mental resources. How to combat decision fatigue. Automate small decisions. Create routines that minimize the need to make decisions throughout the day. For example, meal prepping. Plan your meals for the week, so you don't have to decide what to eat every day. Outfit planning. Choose outfits for the week in advance, so you don't waste mental energy deciding what to wear. Pre-schedule important tasks. Plan your day ahead of time, setting clear priorities so that you don't waste energy deciding what to do next. Set boundaries. Limit the number of decisions you have to make in a given period. For example, try setting aside specific times during the day when you will check emails or make non-urgent decisions, instead of being constantly reactive. Prioritize important decisions. Reserve your mental energy for the decisions that truly matter. Recognize when small decisions are draining your mental resources and eliminate or automate them where possible. By conserving your mental energy, you free up cognitive resources for more complex tasks and decisions, allowing you to think more clearly when it counts. Step 2. Overcoming cognitive biases. As mentioned earlier, your brain has a tendency to rely on biases and mental shortcuts that may not always serve you well. Fortunately, you can retrain your brain to recognize these biases and correct them before they cloud your judgment. How to overcome biases. Practice critical thinking. Develop a habit of questioning your assumptions and beliefs. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, am I relying on preconceived notions, or am I evaluating this situation objectively? What evidence do I have to support this belief? Am I considering alternative perspectives? Seek diverse viewpoints. One way to combat confirmation bias is to expose yourself to different ideas and perspectives. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking, and actively seek out information that contradicts your beliefs. This will help you make more well-rounded, informed decisions. Use data and facts. When making important decisions, focus on the hard data, rather than relying on gut feelings or assumptions. For example, if you're considering a new investment, gather as much information as possible about the risks, rewards, and track record of the opportunity before deciding. Slow down your decision-making process. Instead of rushing into decisions, take your time to evaluate the options. Pause and consider multiple perspectives, reflect on potential outcomes, and analyze the facts. This will reduce the influence of cognitive biases and allow you to make clearer, more rational decisions. Step 3. Challenging your default thinking with cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing is a powerful technique for changing the way you interpret a situation. Instead of viewing a challenge as something to avoid, you can reframe it as an opportunity for growth. Reframing helps you look at problems from a fresh perspective and reduces the stress or negativity associated with difficult decisions. How to practice cognitive reframing. Identify negative thought patterns. When you're faced with a challenging decision, pay attention to your initial emotional response. Are you feeling anxious, fearful, or overwhelmed? These feelings may be rooted in negative thought patterns that are distorting your perception of the situation. Challenge the negative thought. Ask yourself whether your initial thought is accurate or based on assumptions. For example, If you're considering a new career and feel afraid of failure, ask, what's the worst that could happen? What steps can I take to minimize risk? What did I learn from past experiences that can help me succeed now? Reframe the situation positively. Once you've challenged the negative thought, reframe it in a more positive light. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm too old to start a new career," reframe it as, "I have valuable experience that will help me succeed in this new field." This shift in thinking helps you approach decisions with a growth mindset, which leads to clearer and more empowered choices. Practice gratitude. Reframing isn't just about seeing the glass half full, it's also about cultivating gratitude for the opportunities you have. When faced with a tough decision, take a moment to acknowledge what you're grateful for. This positive perspective enhances mental clarity and opens your mind to creative solutions. Step 4. Train your brain with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment, without judgment. When you're mindful, you're not distracted by past regrets or future anxieties. Instead, you focus solely on the task at hand. This practice helps you clear mental clutter, reduce stress, and improve your decision-making ability. How to incorporate mindfulness into your routine. Practice mindful breathing. Dedicate a few minutes each day to focused breathing. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly. Focus all your attention on your breath. This calms the nervous system and trains your mind to stay present in the moment. Engage in mindful meditation. Meditation is an excellent way to improve mental clarity. Start with just 5 minutes of guided meditation each day, focusing on your breath or a positive affirmation. Over time, you'll improve your ability to stay focused and clear-headed during decision-making moments. Mindful decision-making. When faced with a decision, practice mindfulness by slowing down and taking a moment to center yourself. Instead of rushing into a choice, take a few deep breaths, focus on your thoughts and feelings, and proceed with intention. Mindfulness prevents impulsive decisions driven by emotion or anxiety. Step 5. Strengthening your prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex, PFC, is the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and rational thinking. It's the region that helps you weigh pros and cons, make judgments, and plan for the future. However, the PFC can become overwhelmed by stress or fatigue, which impairs its ability to function effectively. How to strengthen your prefrontal cortex. Practice mental discipline. Engage in exercises that challenge your brain, such as puzzles, strategy games, or learning new skills. These activities stimulate the prefrontal cortex and improve cognitive function. Prioritize rest and recovery. Just like muscles need rest after exercise, your brain needs time to recover after intense mental activity. Ensure you're getting enough sleep each night and take breaks throughout the day to give your prefrontal cortex time to recharge. Set goals and track progress. Setting clear goals and tracking your progress strengthens your decision-making abilities. The act of planning and reflecting activates the PFC and helps you develop better long-term thinking skills. Step 6. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means that, even as you get older, you can rewire your brain and develop new habits and ways of thinking. How to harness neuroplasticity for clear thinking. Engage in continuous learning. Expose your brain to new information regularly. Learn new languages, pick up new hobbies, or read diverse books to keep your mind flexible and adaptable. Practice new thinking habits. The more you practice positive mental habits, such as mindfulness, reframing, and critical thinking, the more neural connections are formed in your brain, making it easier to think clearly in the future. Take on challenging tasks. Tackle tasks that push you outside your comfort zone. Whether it's a challenging project at work or learning a new skill, These tasks stimulate the brain and enhance cognitive function. Chapter 5. Navigating the Emotional Storm. Emotions are an inevitable part of being human. They arise in response to our experiences and can significantly impact the decisions we make. Whether we like it or not, our emotions have a powerful influence on our thoughts, behaviors, and choices. Sometimes they act as guides, helping us make decisions that align with our desires and values. Other times, they cloud our judgment, making it difficult to think clearly. When making decisions, it's easy to allow emotions such as fear, anger, anxiety, or excitement to take over, pushing us toward impulsive or poorly thought-out choices. Yet, emotions don't have to be your enemy. In fact, if managed properly, emotions can become powerful allies, helping you make thoughtful and informed decisions. This chapter is about learning how to navigate the emotional storm, so your feelings work in your favor rather than against you. Understanding emotions in decision-making. Before you can navigate your emotions effectively, it's important to understand the role they play in decision-making. Emotions are not just random feelings. They are signals that provide valuable information about our internal state and external environment. Fear. Fear is an emotion that warns us about potential danger. It's a protective mechanism that can keep us from making decisions that might harm us. However, fear can sometimes be irrational, making us avoid opportunities that could lead to personal growth. Anxiety. Anxiety often arises when we are uncertain about the future. It can cloud our thinking, causing us to overthink or become paralyzed by the unknown. On the positive side, anxiety can motivate us to prepare or plan, especially in situations that require action. Anger. Anger is a response to perceived injustice or frustration. While anger can be a catalyst for change, if it's not managed well, it can lead to rash decisions and regrets. Excitement. Excitement is a positive emotion that arises when we anticipate something good. It often drives us to take action and seize opportunities. However, excitement can sometimes lead to hasty decisions without proper reflection, causing us to overlook risks. Each emotion carries its own message. The key is to recognize these messages and respond to them with intention. Instead of letting emotions control you, you can learn to interpret them and use them constructively. The impact of unchecked emotions. When emotions are unchecked, they can dominate your decision-making process. This is where the emotional storm begins. It happens when emotions become so intense that they overwhelm your ability to think clearly. Instead of responding thoughtfully, you react impulsively. The consequences of emotional decision-making can include impulsive actions. When emotions take over, decisions are often made on the spot without considering long-term consequences. This leads to decisions that might feel good in the moment but are regretted later. Biases and distortions. Strong emotions can lead to cognitive biases, such as emotional reasoning, thinking that something is true simply because you feel it strongly, or overgeneralization, assuming that one experience will always happen in the same way. Conflict with values. When emotions drive decisions, they may lead you away from your true values and goals. For example, making a decision based on fear might prevent you from pursuing an opportunity that aligns with your long-term vision. Stress and burnout. Making decisions while emotionally overwhelmed can drain your energy, leaving you feeling stressed and mentally fatigued. The key to navigating the emotional storm is learning to recognize when emotions are taking the wheel, and developing tools to regain control. Step 1. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. The first step in managing emotions is acknowledging them without judgment. Emotions are natural, and they arise in response to the situations and challenges you face. However, it's essential not to judge or suppress your feelings. Often, we dismiss emotions as bad or unnecessary, leading to a cycle of denial, which makes them more intense in the long run. How to acknowledge your emotions. Name your emotions. Simply, identifying what you're feeling can significantly reduce its intensity. For example, if you're feeling anxious, say to yourself, "I am feeling anxious right now." By labeling the emotion, you separate yourself from it, preventing it from controlling you. Observe without judgment. Once you've named the emotion, observe it. Ask yourself, where is this feeling coming from? What triggered it? This process helps you gain perspective and reduces the emotional charge. Accept the emotion. Instead of resisting how you feel, give yourself permission to feel it. Understand that it's okay to feel anxious, angry, or scared. Emotions are part of being human, and they do not define you. They are temporary states that can be managed with intention. Step 2. Use emotional labeling to gain clarity. Emotional labeling is a simple yet effective technique to help you reduce emotional intensity and gain clarity. By identifying and naming your emotions, you allow yourself to process them more effectively. It's like bringing the emotional storm out into the open, so it no longer clouds your thinking. How to use emotional labeling. Pause and check in. When you feel overwhelmed by emotions, pause for a moment and check in with yourself. Ask, what am I feeling right now? And try to identify the emotion as specifically as possible. Anger, frustration, fear, sadness, excitement, etc. Describe the emotion. Once you've named the emotion, describe it. For example, I am feeling anxious because I am uncertain about the future, or I'm feeling frustrated because I feel misunderstood. This helps you pinpoint the root cause of your emotion. Reframe the emotion. Instead of seeing your emotions as something to avoid, view them as signals. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm so anxious about this decision," try reframing it as, "I'm feeling anxious, but this anxiety shows me that I care deeply about making the right choice." By reframing the emotion, you see it as valuable feedback, not a hindrance. Step 3. Emotional anchor points for stability. When emotions feel overwhelming, it's important to have tools in place that can help you regain emotional stability. One powerful technique is using emotional anchor points, grounding methods that help you steady yourself when emotions are intense. How to use emotional anchor points. Breathing exercises. Slow, deep breathing is one of the most effective emotional anchor points. Focus on your breath, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and exhaling for 6 counts. This calms your nervous system and brings you back to the present moment. Visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a peaceful, calming environment, perhaps a beach, forest, or meadow. Imagine yourself surrounded by the sounds and sights of nature. This mental image can help you calm your emotional storm and regain clarity. Physical grounding. Engage your senses by noticing the physical sensations around you. For example, feel the ground beneath your feet, touch an object near you, or focus on the texture of your clothing. Grounding yourself physically helps bring you back to the present and reduces the intensity of overwhelming emotions. Step 4. Reframe fear and anxiety as growth catalysts. Fear and anxiety are often seen as negative emotions that should be avoided at all costs. However, fear and anxiety are also signs of potential growth and change. They signal that we are stepping outside of our comfort zones and are on the verge of something new. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, you can choose to reframe it as a growth catalyst. How to reframe fear and anxiety. Embrace discomfort. Understand that growth happens when we face discomfort. If you're feeling anxious about a decision, it may be because the decision challenges your current beliefs or pushes you out of your comfort zone. Embrace the discomfort as a sign that you are growing. Use fear as motivation. Reframe fear as a source of motivation. For example, if you're scared about starting a new career, Remind yourself that fear is a natural response to a new challenge. Rather than avoiding the fear, use it as fuel to prepare, plan, and take action. Break the fear down. Fear often arises from the unknown. Break down the feared decision into smaller steps. What is the worst-case scenario? What steps can you take to mitigate risk? By addressing the fear in manageable chunks, you reduce its power over you. Step 5. Transform negative emotions into positive action. One of the most powerful aspects of emotional intelligence is the ability to transform negative emotions into positive action. Instead of allowing frustration, anger, or disappointment to derail your decision-making process, you can channel those emotions into productive energy. How to transform negative emotions into positive action. Frustration as motivation. If you're frustrated with a situation, use that frustration as motivation to seek solutions. For example, if a project isn't going as planned, your frustration might be a signal that you need to reassess your approach and find a new solution. Anger as energy. If you're feeling angry about something, use that energy to fuel action. Channel it into constructive activities such as problem-solving, planning, or advocating for change. Sadness as reflection. If you're feeling sad or disappointed, take time to reflect on what those emotions are teaching you. What lessons can you learn from the situation? How can you use this moment to grow and improve in the future? By reframing negative emotions as opportunities for action, you can transform them into powerful tools that propel you forward, rather than holding you back. Step 6. Build emotional resilience for long-term clarity. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and manage your emotions effectively, even in difficult situations. The more resilient you are, the more you can maintain mental clarity in the face of challenges. How to build emotional resilience. Regular exercise. Physical activity has been shown to improve mood and reduce stress. Incorporating regular exercise into your routine can help regulate your emotions and keep you grounded during stressful times. Mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is a practice that helps you develop emotional resilience. By regularly practicing mindfulness meditation, you train your brain to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, which reduces the power they have over you. Social support. Surround yourself with people who are emotionally supportive. Talking through your emotions with a trusted friend or mentor can help you gain perspective and prevent negative emotions from overwhelming you. Final thoughts. Emotions as allies. Emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply signals. When you learn to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions, you can use them as powerful allies in the decision-making process. Instead of allowing emotions to control you, you can leverage them to gain clarity, motivation, and insight. Remember, emotions are part of the human experience, and they will always be with you. By learning to navigate the emotional storm with intention, you'll make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life. In the next chapter, we'll explore creating a decision-making ecosystem, where we'll discuss how to optimize your environment for better decision-making. Chapter 6. Creating a decision-making ecosystem. When you think of making great decisions, you might focus primarily on the process of thinking clearly, overcoming biases, or controlling your emotions. While these are crucial factors in the decision-making process, it's easy to overlook the environment in which you make those decisions. A clear mind doesn't exist in isolation. It's shaped and influenced by the environment around you. Just as a plant needs sunlight, water, and fertile soil to thrive, your mind needs the right conditions to make clear and thoughtful decisions. In this chapter, we will explore how to build and maintain a decision-making ecosystem, an environment that supports your decision-making process by reducing distractions, fostering clarity, and enhancing focus. By optimizing your physical, mental, and social surroundings, you create a fertile ground where your decision-making skills can flourish. Why your environment matters. Your surroundings, both physical and mental, have a significant impact on how well you think and make decisions. Our environments influence our cognitive functions, stress levels, and mental clarity. If you're constantly surrounded by clutter, distractions, or negative energy, your ability to think clearly and make informed choices diminishes. Here's why environment matters so much. Distractions. Physical clutter or constant interruptions pull your attention away from the decision at hand. You're unable to focus on the most important information or process thoughts thoroughly when your environment is chaotic. Mental fatigue. A stressful environment can lead to decision fatigue. Over time, if your mind is constantly bombarded with unnecessary inputs, your mental energy becomes drained, making it harder to think clearly. Social influences. The people around you have a direct influence on your decision-making. A supportive network can encourage you to make better decisions, while negative or toxic influences can cloud your judgment. Emotional impact. Your surroundings also affect your emotions. For example, being in a peaceful, calm space can help you feel more grounded, while a high-stress environment can trigger anxiety and affect your ability to make clear decisions. By actively curating your environment, both physically and mentally, you can foster clarity and strengthen your decision-making skills. Let's explore how to create this optimal environment. Step 1. Design your physical space for clarity. The physical space in which you make decisions plays a significant role in your ability to think clearly. When your environment is cluttered or disorganized, it can feel mentally overwhelming and distract you from focusing on important tasks. On the other hand, an organized and peaceful space can enhance your ability to think deeply, feel calm, and make decisions with clarity. How to design your space for clear thinking. Declutter your workspace. A cluttered desk or living area can cause a cluttered mind. Take time to declutter your environment. Remove unnecessary items, papers, or objects that are taking up mental space. Keep only the items that are relevant and inspiring to the task at hand. Create a designated decision-making zone. When making important decisions, designate a specific area where you can concentrate and reflect. This could be a quiet room, a cozy corner, or a park bench, any place where you feel calm and focused. Surround yourself with positive stimuli. Add elements to your environment that inspire and motivate you. This could include personal items, plants, or artwork that uplift your mood and stimulate your creativity. Positive stimuli help keep your mindset open and your energy high. Control noise and distractions. Choose an environment that is free from distractions. If you need to think deeply, minimize interruptions by turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs, or using noise-canceling headphones to block out background noise. Lighting and ambience. Proper lighting is essential for mental clarity. Bright light helps you stay alert and energized, while softer lighting can create a calming atmosphere that promotes reflection. Make sure your space is well lit, organized, and comfortable. By shaping your physical environment to reduce distractions and create a positive, calming space, you improve your ability to think clearly and make thoughtful decisions. Step 2. Cultivate mental space for decision-making. While your physical environment plays a role in how clearly you think, your mental environment is just as crucial. Mental clutter, whether it's worries about the future, regrets from the past, or an overloaded to-do list, can easily cloud your judgment and decision-making process. To make better decisions, you need to create a mental space that supports clarity, focus, and mindfulness. How to cultivate mental space for clarity. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. It allows you to focus on the task at hand without being distracted by thoughts about the past or future. Incorporating mindfulness exercises into your routine, such as deep breathing, meditation, or body scans, helps calm your mind and bring you back to the present. Declutter your mind. Just as you clean your physical space, Take time to declutter your mind. One effective technique is to dump your thoughts onto paper, thought dumping. When you feel mentally overwhelmed, write down everything that's swirling around in your head: worries, tasks, emotions. Once they're written down, you can evaluate them with a clearer perspective and prioritize what's truly important. Limit mental inputs. Reduce mental overload by limiting the amount of information you consume daily. Unsubscribe from unnecessary emails, cut down on social media time, and be selective about the news and media you engage with. By controlling the mental inputs, you protect your mind from becoming overwhelmed by irrelevant or distracting information. Develop a clear decision-making process. Create a structured process for decision-making. Having a repeatable framework, such as the decision sprint method from the previous chapter, ensures that you don't get lost in the mental fog of indecision. A clear, organized approach brings mental clarity and helps you make decisions with confidence. Practice daily reflection. Set aside time at the end of each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and decisions. Journaling or meditative reflection helps you process emotions, clarify your goals, and identify areas where you can improve. Regular reflection fosters mental clarity and prepares your mind for the next day's challenges. By regularly clearing mental clutter and adopting mindfulness practices, you create a mental environment that supports clear thinking and informed decision-making. Step 3. Foster supportive relationships and social influence. The people around you significantly impact the way you make decisions. Surrounding yourself with individuals who support and challenge you in healthy ways will help you navigate complex decisions with greater ease. Conversely, toxic or unsupportive relationships can cloud your judgment, encourage impulsivity, and lead to decisions that don't align with your true values. How to foster a supportive decision-making network. Seek trusted advisors. Whether it's a mentor, close friend, or colleague, having someone to turn to for advice can provide clarity and perspective. Trusted advisors offer an outside point of view that can help you see things more objectively and make well-rounded decisions. Engage in constructive conversations. Engage in meaningful conversations with people who challenge your thinking in a positive way. Healthy debates and discussions help you see things from different angles and test your assumptions. These conversations can also help you uncover blind spots or biases that may have influenced your decision-making. Surround yourself with positive role models. The individuals you spend the most time with shape your mindset and decisions. Surround yourself with people who exhibit qualities like resilience, clear thinking, and integrity. Their examples will inspire you to adopt similar behaviors and make decisions that align with your highest values. Avoid negative influences. Be mindful of relationships that drain your energy or promote negativity. Toxic influences, such as people who gossip, judge, or discourage you, can prevent you from thinking clearly and confidently. Protect yourself by setting boundaries and distancing yourself from those who create unnecessary mental clutter. Collaborate with like-minded individuals. If possible, collaborate with individuals who share similar goals and values. Working together on projects or decisions can bring fresh perspectives and strengthen your decision-making process. Collaboration also encourages accountability, making you more likely to follow through with the choices you make. The people around you influence your thoughts and emotions. By building a network of supportive, positive, and constructive relationships, you can create an ecosystem that encourages clearer, more thoughtful decisions. Step 4. Manage your technology and digital environment. In today's digital age, technology is both a blessing and a curse. While it provides access to vast amounts of information and connects us to the world, it also has the potential to distract us, overwhelm our senses, and drain our mental energy. A cluttered digital environment can prevent you from making clear, focused decisions. How to manage your digital environment. Set boundaries with technology. One of the best ways to protect your mental space is to set boundaries around your use of technology. This could mean turning off non-essential notifications, scheduling specific times for checking emails or social media, setting boundaries around screen time to reduce cognitive overload. Use apps to stay focused. Leverage apps and tools that help you stay organized and reduce distractions. For example, Trello or Notion for organizing tasks and projects. Freedom or Focus at Will for blocking distracting websites and apps. Forest or Pomodoro timers to keep your focus on one task at a time. Curate your digital inputs. Just as you filter your physical environment, you should curate the information you consume online. Subscribe to newsletters, follow accounts, and read articles that add value to your life, rather than drowning in irrelevant content. Overloading your brain with unnecessary information decreases your cognitive bandwidth and makes it harder to make clear decisions. Use technology for mindfulness. There are also many tools designed to enhance mental clarity. Meditation apps like Calm or Headspace, for instance, can guide you through mindfulness exercises that help you clear your mind, focus your thoughts, and reduce stress. By managing your digital environment, you protect your mental clarity from distractions and ensure that your decision-making process remains grounded and intentional. Step 5. Prioritize self-care to support decision-making. Finally, it's important to remember that your physical and mental well-being play a crucial role in your ability to make clear decisions. If you're exhausted, stressed, or not taking care of your body, your ability to think clearly will be compromised. How to prioritize self-care for clear decision-making. Ensure quality sleep. Sleep is essential for cognitive function, emotional regulation, and decision-making. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to keep your brain sharp and focused. Stay active. Regular exercise reduces stress, boosts mood, and improves cognitive function. Incorporating physical activity into your routine helps to clear mental fog and enhances your ability to make thoughtful decisions. Eat nutritious foods. Your brain needs proper nutrition to function at its best. Make sure your diet includes a variety of whole foods, such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, which nourish the brain and support decision-making. Take breaks and rest. Taking regular breaks throughout the day helps prevent burnout and mental fatigue. Even a few minutes of stretching or a walk outside can refresh your mind and give you the clarity needed for better decisions. Engage in relaxation techniques. Activities like yoga, deep breathing exercises, or hobbies you enjoy help reduce stress and improve mental clarity. Make time for self-care practices that help you recharge and stay balanced. Final thoughts. Building your decision-making ecosystem. A decision-making ecosystem is about creating an environment that supports and nourishes your ability to think clearly, process information, and make decisions with confidence. By carefully managing your physical space, mental state, relationships, technology, and self-care practices, you cultivate an environment where clarity can thrive. Creating a thriving decision-making ecosystem is a process that requires intentionality and consistency. The more you shape your surroundings to foster clarity and reduce distractions, the more your decision-making abilities will improve. In the next chapter, we'll explore the Clarity Compass, a tool for aligning decisions with your core values to ensure they lead you toward the life you truly want. Chapter 7. The Clarity Compass, Aligning Decisions with Your Values. Making decisions is part of everyday life, but sometimes we find ourselves stuck, unsure of what path to take. Whether it's choosing a career, deciding on relationships, or figuring out how to spend our time, making choices can often feel overwhelming. We may experience doubt, uncertainty, and inner conflict. However, there is a powerful tool you can use to navigate through these moments of confusion and find direction: the Clarity Compass. The Clarity Compass is an internal guide designed to help you align your decisions with your core values. When you are aligned with your values, your decisions become easier to make, and you can confidently move toward the life you desire. In this chapter, we will explore how to use the clarity compass to ensure that your choices reflect your true self, help you build a life of integrity, and bring a deep sense of fulfillment. Why values matter in decision-making. Our values are the principles and beliefs that define who we are and guide the way we live. They serve as our moral compass, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately, the decisions we make. When we are clear about our values, we can make decisions that are in line with what we truly believe in, rather than being swayed by external pressures, fleeting emotions, or societal expectations. Why is this important? Because misaligned decisions, those made without considering our values, often lead to feelings of frustration, regret, and a lack of fulfillment. When your decisions align with your core values, you experience a sense of integrity and authenticity, which leads to deeper satisfaction and a stronger sense of purpose in life. Values also act as a framework for decision-making in challenging or uncertain situations. When faced with difficult choices, knowing what matters most to you helps you navigate through the complexity and make choices that feel right. Step 1. Identifying your core values. The first step in using the clarity compass is to identify your core values. These are the non-negotiable principles that form the foundation of who you are and how you live your life. The more clearly you can identify your values, the easier it will be to make decisions that are aligned with your true self. How to identify your core values. Reflect on past experiences. Think about moments in your life when you felt proud, fulfilled, or truly happy. What was happening in those moments? What values were you honoring? For example, did you feel proud when you helped someone in need, when you achieved a personal goal, or when you stood up for what you believe in? Consider role models. Think about people you admire and look up to. What qualities do they embody? What values do they represent that resonate with you? This can give you clues about the values you hold dear. List your values. Write down the values that come to mind. Common values include integrity, honesty, family, creativity, growth, health, freedom, compassion, adventure, and justice, among many others. Don't worry about narrowing the list down at first. Just jot down whatever feels important to you. Prioritize your values. Once you have a list, take a step back and reflect. Which of these values are the most important to you? What values would you never compromise on? Narrow the list down to your top 3 to 5 core values. Some examples of core values might be integrity, doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Growth, continuously learning and evolving as a person. Compassion, showing kindness and empathy toward others. Freedom, valuing independence and the ability to make your own choices. When you identify and prioritize your core values, you create a clear understanding of what truly matters to you. This clarity is essential for making decisions that align with your personal truth. Step 2. Aligning decisions with your values. Once you've identified your core values, the next step is to align your decisions with them. This means ensuring that the choices you make, big or small, are in harmony with what you truly care about. How to align your decisions with your core values. Pause and reflect. Before making any decision, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, does this choice align with my core values? This simple pause gives you the space to evaluate the situation with intention, rather than rushing into a decision that may not align with your values. Ask value-based questions. When you face a difficult decision, ask yourself questions that help you evaluate how the choice aligns with your values. Does this choice align with the person I want to become? Is this decision in harmony with my long-term goals and vision for my life? Will this decision help me grow, or will it keep me stuck? How will this decision affect my relationships with others? Does this decision honor my sense of integrity and authenticity? Eliminate the options that don't align. Once you've asked these questions, Eliminate any options that don't align with your core values. For example, if you value family but a job opportunity would require you to move far away from loved ones, you may decide that the opportunity isn't the right fit for you. By eliminating misaligned options, you narrow your choices to those that are in harmony with your values. Visualize the impact of your decisions. Take a moment to visualize the consequences of your decision. Picture yourself living with each option. Does it feel aligned with your true self? Does it make you feel at peace or unsettled? Visualization can help you tap into your intuition, making it easier to make decisions that reflect your core values. Trust yourself. Aligning your decisions with your values requires trust. Trust in yourself and in the process. Trust that by following your values, you are making the right choice for yourself, even if it may be difficult in the short term. When you trust your values, you will be more confident in your decision-making and less likely to second-guess yourself. Step 3. Using the clarity compass in difficult decisions. Life is filled with difficult decisions. Whether it's choosing between two career paths, navigating a challenging relationship, or figuring out how to balance competing priorities, tough decisions can leave you feeling torn. In these moments, the clarity compass can guide you toward the decision that best aligns with your values and long-term goals. How to use the clarity compass in difficult decisions. Identify the values at play. In any difficult decision, different values may be at play. For example, if you're deciding whether to take a new job that requires you to relocate, you might be weighing values like career growth, family, adventure, and stability. Identify the values that are most relevant to the decision you are facing. Evaluate the options against your values. Once you've identified the relevant values, assess each option based on how well it aligns with those values. For example, if you value growth and adventure, the job opportunity may align with those values even though it requires a major life change. If you value family and stability, staying in your current city may feel more aligned with those priorities. Weigh the long-term impact. While short-term considerations are important, it's crucial to evaluate the long-term impact of your decision. Ask yourself, how will each choice shape your future? Will it bring you closer to the life you envision? Aligning with your long-term goals ensures that you are making decisions that contribute to your overall happiness and fulfillment. Seek advice from trusted mentors. Sometimes, it can be hard to see how your values apply to a difficult decision. In these cases, seek guidance from someone who understands your values and goals. Trusted mentors or advisors can offer valuable perspectives that help you make clearer choices. Trust your gut. Ultimately, when you've evaluated your options through the lens of your core values, trust your intuition. Your values will guide you toward the decision that feels right on a deeper level. Even if a decision feels difficult or uncomfortable, trust that it is the right choice if it aligns with your core principles. Step 4. Creating a personal mission statement. One of the most powerful ways to stay aligned with your values is by creating a personal mission statement. This statement serves as a guiding framework for your life, helping you make decisions that are in alignment with your purpose and vision. How to create a personal mission statement. Reflect on your values and vision. Begin by reflecting on your core values, goals, and the kind of person you want to be. What qualities do you want to embody? What do you want your legacy to be? This reflection forms the foundation of your personal mission statement. Write your mission statement. Write a brief, clear statement that captures your values, goals, and purpose in life. For example, I am committed to living a life of authenticity, helping others grow, and pursuing my passions with courage and resilience. I will prioritize my health, maintain strong family relationships, and contribute to my community through service. Use it as a decision-making tool. When faced with a decision, refer to your personal mission statement. Does the decision align with your mission? If it does, you're on the right track. If it doesn't, it may be time to reconsider. Step 5. Living in alignment with your values. Living in alignment with your values requires consistent effort and mindfulness. It's not enough to simply know your values and use the clarity compass occasionally. To experience the full benefits of living a values-driven life, you must make it a habit, one that permeates every aspect of your decision-making process. How to live in alignment with your values. Make daily decisions with your values in mind. Each day presents opportunities to make decisions, big and small. Whether you're deciding how to spend your time, who to associate with, or what to prioritize, use your values as a guide to help you make decisions that align with your true self. Regularly revisit your values. Values can evolve over time, and it's important to periodically reflect on them. Revisit your core values and mission statement every few months to ensure they still resonate with you and align with your life goals. Practice self-compassion. Living in alignment with your values doesn't mean you'll always make perfect decisions. Be kind to yourself when you falter. Learn from your mistakes and continue refining your approach to making value-based decisions. Celebrate alignment. When you make decisions that align with your values, take a moment to acknowledge it. Celebrate these moments of integrity and honor the positive impact they have on your life. Final thoughts. Trusting your values to guide you. The clarity compass is a powerful tool for navigating life's decisions. By aligning your choices with your core values, you ensure that each decision moves you closer to the life you truly want to live. When you live in alignment with your values, your decisions become easier, your actions become more intentional, and your life becomes more meaningful. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to make peace with uncertainty, embracing the unknowns in decision-making and finding confidence in navigating life's unpredictability. Chapter 8. Make peace with uncertainty. Uncertainty is an inevitable part of life. No matter how much planning, preparation, or effort you put in, the future will always be filled with unknowns. Whether you're contemplating a career change, making a major life decision, or considering a new relationship, uncertainty often creeps in. The fear of the unknown can paralyze you, leading to hesitation, overthinking, and inaction. But what if you could stop fearing uncertainty and start embracing it as a natural and even beneficial part of your decision-making process? This chapter is about making peace with uncertainty, learning to navigate it with confidence, and using it as a tool for growth. Instead of avoiding the unknown or trying to control it, you'll learn how to thrive in it, making decisions that align with your values and long-term goals, even when the outcome is uncertain. Understanding the role of uncertainty in life. Uncertainty is often associated with fear, anxiety, and doubt. It can feel unsettling and create mental fog, as you worry about what might happen next. We tend to crave certainty because it gives us a sense of control and security. However, life is inherently unpredictable, and embracing uncertainty can open doors to new opportunities, growth, and greater fulfillment. Why we fear uncertainty. Our fear of uncertainty is deeply rooted in our evolutionary past. Our ancestors needed to predict and control their environments to survive. Those who avoided risks and made predictable choices were more likely to stay safe and thrive. Today, while the risks we face are different, this survival mechanism still influences our thinking. In the modern world, uncertainty feels threatening because it can bring feelings of powerlessness. The unknown makes us feel vulnerable, as we don't know how things will turn out. However, in reality, uncertainty is a constant part of the human experience. The key is not to eliminate it, but to learn how to live with it and still move forward with confidence. Step 1. Embrace the uncertainty of life. The first step in making peace with uncertainty is to embrace it. Instead of trying to control or eliminate uncertainty, shift your mindset to accept it as a natural and inevitable part of life. Every decision, every step forward, carries some degree of uncertainty, and that's okay. Uncertainty is not something to fear. It's a part of the adventure, the unknown terrain that offers endless possibilities. How to embrace uncertainty. Reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing uncertainty as something negative or dangerous, try to view it as an opportunity. Uncertainty brings new experiences, personal growth, and the potential for amazing discoveries. It's a chance to learn and evolve. Control. Accepting this fact helps you let go of the need to have all the answers and frees you from the anxiety of making the perfect choice. Understand that discomfort leads to growth. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. By stepping into the unknown, you challenge yourself and push your boundaries. Embrace the discomfort of uncertainty as a sign that you are on the path to growth. Trust the process. While the outcome may be unclear, trust that the process of making decisions, taking action, and learning along the way will guide you toward the right path. Often, you can only see the bigger picture in hindsight, after taking the journey. Step 2. Focus on what you can control. In situations filled with uncertainty, it's easy to get overwhelmed by what you don't know. However, focusing on the things you can control can help reduce stress and increase clarity. You can't control the future, but you can control how you respond to uncertainty and how much mental energy you devote to it. How to focus on what you can control. Control your mindset. While you can't control the outcome of every decision, you can control how you approach uncertainty. Focus on developing a growth mindset, which allows you to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Your attitude toward uncertainty will shape how it affects your decision-making process. Take small, actionable steps. Instead of trying to solve everything at once, focus on taking small, manageable steps toward your goal. Break down big decisions into smaller actions that you can control. Each small step reduces the feeling of overwhelm and helps you build confidence. Prepare, don't over-prepare. It's important to prepare for uncertainty, but don't fall into the trap of overthinking or over-preparing. Take reasonable steps to gather information, plan, and analyze the situation, but don't let excessive preparation prevent you from taking action. At some point, you have to trust your preparation and take the leap. Set boundaries for your mental space. Reduce uncertainty-induced stress by limiting mental clutter. Practice mindfulness and focus on the present moment. Take time each day to ground yourself and reset. Meditation, journaling, or deep breathing exercises are simple tools that help you regain control over your thoughts and emotions. Let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism often arises when we fear uncertainty, as we try to control every detail. Accept that perfection is an illusion, and aim for progress, not perfection. By releasing the need for everything to be flawless, you can move forward with more confidence and less fear. Step 3. Use uncertainty to your advantage. Once you've embraced uncertainty and focused on what you can control, you can begin using uncertainty as an advantage. While uncertainty may seem intimidating, it also opens up new possibilities and opportunities. In situations of uncertainty, creative thinking and innovation thrive. Uncertainty allows you to explore different paths, test ideas, and learn from your experiences. How to use uncertainty as an advantage. Stay curious and open-minded. Uncertainty invites exploration. When you don't have all the answers, it's the perfect time to ask questions, explore new perspectives, and discover new opportunities. Cultivate curiosity by asking, "What if?" and being open to ideas that challenge your current thinking. Experiment and learn from failure. When you step into the unknown, mistakes are inevitable. Instead of seeing failure as something negative, view it as a learning opportunity. Each failure brings valuable insights that can guide your future decisions. Experiment, take risks, and see what works. You don't need to know the final outcome to get started. Adapt and pivot. Uncertainty requires flexibility. When new information or circumstances arise, be prepared to adapt and adjust your approach. The ability to pivot when necessary is a key trait of successful decision-makers. Embrace the fluidity of uncertainty, and trust in your ability to adjust your course as needed. Create options. In situations of uncertainty, it's easy to feel paralyzed by a single choice. Instead of focusing on one outcome, create multiple options. Explore different possibilities and be open to new ideas. The more options you have, the less pressure you'll feel about making the perfect decision. Build confidence through action. The best way to reduce uncertainty's grip on you is by taking action. Even if you don't have all the answers, taking small steps forward will build momentum and confidence. The more you act, the clearer the path will become. Step 4. Reframe fear of the unknown. One of the biggest challenges of uncertainty is the fear it generates. Fear of the unknown can paralyze us, preventing us from making decisions or taking action. However, fear is often a sign that we are stretching beyond our comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. The goal isn't to eliminate fear, but to reframe it as a natural part of the decision-making process. How to reframe fear of the unknown. Acknowledge your fear. The first step in reframing fear is to acknowledge it. Understand that fear is a natural response to uncertainty. Don't try to suppress it or ignore it. Instead, validate the fear and use it as information. Ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of? Often, understanding the root cause of your fear helps reduce its power. Identify the worst-case scenario. One of the best ways to address fear is to imagine the worst-case scenario. What's the worst thing that could happen if you made this decision? More often than not, the worst-case scenario is not as catastrophic as it seems. When you bring the fear into the light and make it tangible, it loses its grip on you. Focus on the potential benefits. Instead of fixating on the negative outcomes, focus on the positive possibilities. What could go right if you take the leap? Emphasize the potential rewards and growth that come with embracing uncertainty. By focusing on the benefits, you shift your mindset from fear to possibility. Take small, manageable risks. Start with small risks that push you just outside your comfort zone. Gradually, you'll build the courage and confidence to tackle bigger uncertainties. Every step you take in the face of fear builds resilience and reduces the power of fear over time. Trust in your ability to adapt. Reframe fear as a reminder of your resilience. Trust that, no matter what happens, you have the ability to handle it. In every uncertain situation, there's an opportunity for learning, adaptation, and growth. Trust in your ability to navigate the unknown and learn along the way. Step 5. Develop resilience in uncertainty. The final step in making peace with uncertainty is developing resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, manage stress, and continue moving forward despite challenges. Resilience enables you to embrace uncertainty with confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. How to build resilience in uncertainty. Cultivate a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. With a growth mindset, you view uncertainty as an opportunity for growth rather than something to fear. Embrace challenges and see them as stepping stones to greater learning and development. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during uncertain times. Instead of criticizing yourself for not having all the answers, practice self-compassion. Understand that uncertainty is a natural part of the process, and it's okay not to have everything figured out. Treat yourself with the same kindness and patience you would offer a friend. Build a support system. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage you. A strong support system can provide guidance, reassurance, and a fresh perspective during uncertain times. They can also help you process your emotions and remind you of your strengths. Develop coping strategies. Identify strategies that help you cope with stress and uncertainty. This might include mindfulness, exercise, journaling, or spending time with loved ones. Having a toolkit of coping strategies helps you stay grounded and resilient in the face of challenges. Embrace imperfection. Life is unpredictable, and uncertainty will never fully go away. The key is to embrace the imperfection of the journey and trust that, no matter what, you'll find your way. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Chapter 9. Harnessing the power of feedback loops. In the journey of life, we often look at decisions as singular events, moments when we weigh our options, make a choice, and then move forward. However, decision-making doesn't stop at the point of choice. The process is far from linear, and it doesn't end when we pull the trigger on a decision. In fact, the most successful decision-makers understand that decisions are part of a cycle of action, reflection, and adaptation that creates momentum toward greater clarity and better outcomes. This cycle is known as a feedback loop, and it's one of the most powerful tools for refining your decision-making process over time. A feedback loop allows you to assess the outcomes of your choices, learn from them, and apply that knowledge to future decisions. It's a constant cycle of improvement that transforms mistakes into lessons, victories into stepping stones, and helps you make more informed and confident choices. In this chapter, we will explore how to create and harness feedback loops in your life. By embracing feedback, whether from your own experiences or from others, you will unlock the potential to improve your decision-making continuously, leading to more effective, thoughtful, and confident choices. What is a feedback loop? A feedback loop is a process in which the outcomes of your decisions or actions provide insights that help you refine and adjust your future decisions. This cycle can be positive or negative. Positive feedback loop. When the outcome of a decision is successful, it reinforces the behavior or strategy, encouraging you to repeat the action. Negative feedback loop. When the outcome is less than ideal, the feedback helps you learn and adapt, preventing you from making the same mistake again. The key to feedback loops is action. Without action, there is no data, and without data, there is no feedback. Feedback is the bridge between decisions and continuous improvement, allowing you to grow and refine your decision-making abilities over time. Step 1. Taking action to generate feedback. The first step in creating a feedback loop is to take action. You can spend endless hours thinking, analyzing, and overthinking your decisions, but until you take action, you won't have any feedback to work with. Action doesn't have to be grand or irreversible. It can be as simple as testing an idea, making a small change, or experimenting with different options. How to take action to generate feedback. Start with small experiments. If you're unsure about a decision, try testing it out on a smaller scale first. For example, if you're considering a new career path, try taking an online course or doing freelance work in the field before making a full commitment. These small experiments give you data without the pressure of a permanent change. Set clear, measurable goals. Make sure that the actions you take are aligned with specific goals and that you can measure progress toward those goals. When you have clear benchmarks, it's easier to evaluate whether the action was successful or if adjustments are needed. Don't wait for perfection. One of the biggest barriers to taking action is the fear of making a mistake. While it's important to make informed decisions, waiting for everything to be perfect can result in missed opportunities and analysis paralysis. Embrace the idea of progress over perfection, and take action knowing that you can adjust along the way. Commit to taking action. It's easy to put off making decisions or taking steps when uncertainty arises. However, taking action gives you the clarity and confidence needed to move forward. If you're afraid to act, remind yourself that the act of doing something is the only way to gain feedback and make improvements. Step 2. Gathering and analyzing feedback. Once you've taken action, It's time to gather feedback. Feedback is the information you receive that helps you understand how your decision is unfolding, whether it's from your own experiences or from external sources. Gathering feedback allows you to assess your progress, determine whether your actions align with your goals, and identify areas for improvement. How to gather and analyze feedback. Self-reflection. After taking action, pause and reflect on your experience. Ask yourself, what went well? What didn't go as planned? What did I learn from this experience? What would I do differently next time? Self-reflection is key to understanding your own reactions, patterns, and behaviors. By analyzing your thoughts and feelings after taking action, you can extract valuable insights that inform your next steps. Track your progress. Keep a record of your actions, goals, and outcomes. Tracking your decisions and their results allows you to see patterns and identify trends over time. For example, if you're testing out a new productivity method, track how much you accomplish each day and assess whether you feel more focused or overwhelmed. Seek external feedback. While self-reflection is valuable, feedback from others can offer a fresh perspective. Ask trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues for their opinions and insights. Sometimes, others can see things you might overlook and offer constructive feedback that can help you improve. Analyze outcomes objectively. It's easy to get caught up in emotions when analyzing outcomes. Whether the result was positive or negative, strive to evaluate it objectively. Look at the facts, assess whether your actions led to the desired outcome, and pinpoint specific areas where you can improve. Gather both qualitative and quantitative feedback. Qualitative feedback, such as feelings, experiences, and subjective observations, helps you understand the emotional impact of your decision. Quantitative feedback, like numbers, metrics, and data, gives you concrete evidence to evaluate your progress. Both types of feedback are important for a holistic assessment. Step 3. Adjusting and adapting based on feedback. Feedback without action is just information. It's the adjustments and adaptations that transform feedback into growth. Once you've gathered feedback, use it to adjust your approach and refine your decisions. Continuous improvement relies on your ability to adapt based on what you've learned. How to adjust and adapt based on feedback. Identify areas for improvement. Look at your feedback and ask yourself, what can I do differently? Identify specific actions or behaviors that need to be changed or refined. If something didn't work out as expected, use it as a learning opportunity to identify what went wrong and how you can improve in the future. Test new strategies. If your initial decision didn't lead to the desired outcome, test new approaches or strategies. For example, if a marketing campaign didn't perform as expected, consider testing different messaging, targeting, or platforms. The key is to keep experimenting and refining your strategy. Be open to change. The process of refining your decision-making doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes the best course of action is to pivot entirely. If the feedback suggests that your current path isn't working, don't be afraid to change direction. Flexibility and adaptability are essential for long-term success. Set new goals. Based on the feedback, set new, more refined goals. This may mean adjusting timelines, expectations, or outcomes. Setting new goals gives you something to work toward and ensures that your decisions remain aligned with your long-term vision. Embrace the process of trial and error. Refining your decisions is often an iterative process. Understand that mistakes and failures are part of the journey. Don't let setbacks discourage you. Instead, embrace them as learning opportunities that will make you better equipped for future decisions. Step 4. Creating a feedback loop for continuous improvement. Feedback loops are most effective when they're continuous. Instead of viewing them as a one-time process after a decision has been made, see them as an ongoing part of your decision-making practice. By integrating feedback loops into your daily life, you create a system for continuous learning, growth, and improvement. How to create a continuous feedback loop. Make feedback a habit. Regularly assess your actions and decisions, not just at the end of a project or significant event. Take time each week or month to reflect on what's working and what's not. Build feedback into your daily or weekly routines so that it becomes a natural part of your decision-making process. Set aside time for reflection. Schedule time for reflection, either daily or weekly, to evaluate your decisions, actions, and progress. Use this time to think critically about the feedback you've gathered and identify areas for growth. Integrate feedback into your routines. Look for ways to integrate feedback into your regular routines and habits. Whether it's through journaling, tracking progress, or having regular check-ins with a mentor or team, make feedback a consistent part of your decision-making process. Use feedback to refine your goals. As you gather more feedback, your goals and vision may evolve. Adjust your long-term goals based on what you've learned through your feedback loops. This ensures that you're always moving in the right direction, refining your approach as you go. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge and celebrate the progress you've made through feedback loops. Whether it's a small win or a major breakthrough, recognizing progress helps you stay motivated and reinforces the value of continuous learning. Step 5. Avoiding the pitfalls of feedback loops. While feedback loops are an essential tool for growth, they can also be misused or misunderstood. If not handled properly, they can become ineffective or even counterproductive. How to avoid common pitfalls in feedback loops. Don't fall into the trap of confirmation bias. One common pitfall in feedback loops is seeking feedback that confirms your existing beliefs or decisions. Instead, actively seek out constructive criticism and be open to learning from feedback that challenges your assumptions. Avoid overanalyzing feedback. While it's important to evaluate feedback thoughtfully, overanalyzing can lead to paralysis by analysis. Use feedback to make informed adjustments, but don't get stuck in the process of analyzing every detail. Keep the feedback loop moving forward. Don't ignore negative feedback. It's natural to want to avoid negative feedback, but ignoring it can prevent you from learning and growing. Instead of dismissing criticism, embrace it as an opportunity to improve. Address negative feedback constructively, and use it to refine your approach. Be patient. Feedback loops take time to yield meaningful results. Don't expect immediate or perfect outcomes after making adjustments. Give yourself the time and space to adapt and refine, and trust that the process will lead to better decisions over time. Final thoughts. Feedback loops as a tool for mastery. Feedback loops are one of the most powerful tools for mastering decision-making. By actively taking action, gathering feedback, adjusting your approach, and refining your process, you create a cycle of continuous improvement. This process helps you grow, adapt, and make better decisions with each step you take. Embrace feedback loops as a natural part of your decision-making journey, and you'll unlock the ability to make more informed, confident, and effective choices. In the next chapter, we'll explore the Clarity Action Plan, a practical guide for integrating all the strategies from this book into your daily life. Stay tuned for actionable steps that will help you implement everything you've learned and take your decision-making skills to the next level. Chapter 10. The Clarity Action Plan. Clear thinking and effective decision-making are not skills you're born with. They're habits that require consistent practice, attention, and intention. Throughout this book, we've explored various tools, strategies, and mindsets to help you think more clearly, make better decisions, and create the life you want to live. Now, it's time to put all of these insights into action with a Clarity Action Plan, a practical guide to implementing everything you've learned and turning it into a real, sustainable way of life. In this chapter, we'll break down the process of creating a personalized Clarity Action Plan, outlining the steps you can take to integrate clear thinking, improve decision-making, and the principles from this book into your everyday routine. This action plan will help you stay focused, consistent, and intentional as you work to build a life aligned with your highest values and aspirations. Why you need a clarity action plan. Having clarity in your life doesn't happen by accident. It requires conscious effort, discipline, and the ability to adapt as you go. The Clarity Action Plan is designed to turn the insights and strategies you've learned into daily practices that will keep you on track, even when life becomes chaotic. It's not about perfection or rigid schedules. It's about creating a system that supports you in making better decisions, staying aligned with your values, and moving closer to your long-term goals. Just like any successful endeavor, having a plan of action helps you stay organized, focused, and motivated. Without a roadmap, it's easy to get distracted, overwhelmed, or stuck in old habits that don't serve your growth. The Clarity Action Plan will ensure that you make consistent progress toward creating a life filled with purpose, confidence, and clear decision-making. Step 1. Define your long-term vision. Before you can implement a Clarity Action Plan, you must have a clear sense of where you want to go in life. Your long-term vision serves as the foundation for all your decisions and actions. It's the big picture that provides direction and motivates you to keep moving forward. How to define your long-term vision? Reflect on your values. Your values are the compass that will guide you toward your vision. Revisit the core values you identified earlier in the book. Ask yourself, what are the principles that define who I am? What is most important to me in life? How do I want to contribute to the world? Identify your life goals. What are the key areas of your life that you want to focus on? These might include career. What kind of work do you want to do, and what impact do you want to make? Relationships. How do you want to connect with others, and what kind of relationships do you want to cultivate? Health and well-being. What does physical, emotional, and mental well-being look like for you? Personal growth. In what ways do you want to grow as a person? What new skills do you want to learn? Visualize your ideal future. Take a moment to close your eyes and picture your life 5, 10, or 20 years from now. What do you see? Imagine how you want to feel, what you want to have achieved, and the impact you want to make. Your long-term vision should inspire and excite you, serving as the driving force behind your daily actions. Write down your vision. Put your vision into words. Craft a statement that captures your aspirations, values, and goals. This statement will serve as your guiding star when making decisions and facing challenges. Example of a long-term vision statement. My vision is to live a life of purpose and authenticity, to build a meaningful career that allows me to help others grow, maintain strong and loving relationships, prioritize my health and well-being, and continually learn and evolve into the best version of myself. Step 2. Break down your vision into actionable goals. With a long-term vision in mind, the next step is to break it down into specific, actionable goals. Goals are the stepping stones that will help you move from where you are now to where you want to be. By setting clear, measurable goals, you give yourself a sense of direction and purpose. How to break down your vision into goals. Set SMART goals. To make your goals more actionable, use the SMART framework. Specific. Define the goal clearly. What exactly do you want to achieve? Measurable. How will you measure your progress? Achievable. Is the goal realistic, given your current situation? Relevant. Does the goal align with your values and long-term vision? Time-bound. Set a timeline for achieving the goal. Focus on the most important areas. Choose 2 to 3 key areas of your life to focus on at any given time. For example, you might choose to focus on career development, personal growth, and health for the next 6 months. Keep your goals aligned with your values and long-term vision. Break goals into smaller tasks. Large goals can feel overwhelming, so break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. For example, if your goal is to launch a new business, break it down into tasks like creating a business plan, researching your target market, setting up a website, and marketing your services. Set short-term and long-term goals. While your long-term vision provides overall direction, short-term goals will help you build momentum. Focus on what you can achieve in the next few months, and then set your sights on the next few years. Short-term goals should serve
as building blocks for your long-term vision. Track your progress. Create a system to track your progress. This could be a journal, a planner, or a goal-setting app. Regularly checking on your goals to assess where you are, what needs to be adjusted, and what milestones you've reached. Step 3. Develop daily habits and routines to support your goals. The key to achieving your long-term goals is consistency. It's not about making a big change all at once, it's about creating daily habits and routines that support your vision. Small, consistent actions taken over time compound to create significant results. How to develop daily habits and routines. Identify key habits. Think about the habits that will directly support your goals. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, your key habits might include regular exercise, meal planning, and mindfulness. If your goal is to advance in your career, you might focus on networking, skill building, or team management. Start small, don't overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 key habits and build from there. The goal is to make these habits automatic, so they don't require a lot of willpower to maintain. Make habits part of your routine. Incorporate your key habits into your daily routine so they become a second nature. For example, schedule time each day for exercise, reading, or journaling. Set reminders if needed to stay on track. Create accountability. Find ways to hold yourself accountable. This could be through a habit tracker, a daily checklist, or a buddy system. Having someone to check in with or a tool to track your progress can help keep you motivated. Review and adjust. Periodically review your habits and routines to ensure they are still aligned with your goals. If something isn't working, adjust it. The goal is to make your daily habits work for you, not against you. Step 4. Cultivate mindfulness and reflection. Mindfulness and self-reflection are essential practices for maintaining clarity and staying aligned with your goals. Regularly taking the time to pause, reflect, and recalibrate helps you stay grounded, make better decisions, and adapt to new challenges. How to cultivate mindfulness and reflection. Set aside time for mindfulness. Practice mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, or yoga, to help clear your mind and stay present. A few minutes of mindfulness each day can reduce stress and increase clarity. Daily reflection. At the end of each day, spend a few minutes reflecting on your actions, thoughts, and feelings. Ask yourself, what went well today? What did I learn? What can I improve tomorrow? Weekly check-ins. Once a week, take time to evaluate your progress toward your goals. Reflect on what you've achieved, what challenges you faced, and what adjustments need to be made. This weekly reflection helps you stay on track and make course corrections. Align decisions with values. During your reflections, make sure that your actions and decisions align with your core values. If you notice any misalignment, take action to course correct. Practice gratitude. Acknowledge and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's going well, which boosts motivation and fosters positive energy. Step 5. Commit to growth and adaptation. One of the most important aspects of the Clarity Action Plan is a commitment to growth and adaptability. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. The ability to adapt, learn from mistakes, and continue moving forward is what separates those who succeed from those who get stuck. How to commit to growth and adaptation. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Mistakes are a part of the process. Rather than fearing failure, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Each setback is a chance to improve and make better decisions in the future. Stay flexible. Be willing to adapt your goals, habits, or approach as circumstances change. Flexibility allows you to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and resilience. Invest in continuous learning, make a commitment to lifelong learning. Whether it's reading books, taking courses, or learning from experiences, constantly seek to improve your knowledge and skills. This makes you better equipped to handle challenges and make more informed decisions. Celebrate progress, not perfection. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of perfection, but the real reward comes from consistent progress. Celebrate the small wins and improvements you make along the way. Stay focused on the bigger picture. During difficult times or when things don't go as planned, remind yourself of your long-term vision. Focus on the bigger picture and keep moving forward, even when the immediate steps feel uncertain. Final thoughts: taking action and moving forward. The Clarity Action Plan is not a one-time effort, it's an ongoing, evolving process that grows with you. By defining your long-term vision, breaking it down into actionable goals, developing daily habits, cultivating mindfulness, and committing to growth, you create a powerful system for clear thinking and effective decision-making. The more you integrate these practices into your life, the clearer your path will become, and the more confident you will feel in making decisions that align with your values and aspirations. Remember, clarity is not a destination, it's a journey. By following the steps outlined in the Clarity Action Plan, you will continuously refine your ability to make better decisions and live a life that reflects your highest potential. Now, it's time to take the first step. Start with one small action today, and let the momentum carry you toward your goals. The clarity you seek is within reach. It's all about taking intentional action, staying aligned with your vision, and adapting as you go.